Hey everyone, welcome back to the All Things Lifestyle podcast. I am your host Tay, and thank you so much for tuning back in to another episode. This is episode 9. If you haven't listened to my past episodes, pause this, go back a couple, and just catch up a little bit. This episode is going to be about all things natural hair. Not all things, but just kind of scratching the surface, just giving some tips on natural hair, some things that I've learned, my current hair routine, current products I'm using, just, scratching the surface. Like I said, I'm not going to go deep into it, but I'm just, I want to talk about it a little bit because I've noticed over the past couple months as I've been just wearing wash and goes, my hair has just been doing really good. So I just wanted to make a podcast episode about it. Maybe it'll help some of you guys if you are going through your natural hair journey, if you're at a standstill, if you're stuck, if you're feeling discouraged, unmotivated. Hopefully this will help a little bit. Or even if you want to start, your natural hair journey. Hopefully this helps too. But before I get into that, I'm going to get into a little recap of my week. So my week, pretty boring, nothing crazy, but my weekend was pretty nice. I got to hang out and just be young and free and lit. Like, yes. Okay, so last weekend I got a chance to go to Mastros Steakhouse. It's a pretty well-known steakhouse because when I looked it up, they have one in Houston, they have one in California, they have one in Florida. It's all over the country that they have these. So this is my first time going to one. It was so good, and this is the type of steakhouse where it's like top tier service. Like, it's expensive, it's not cheap. It's not cheap at all, but it's an experience, and I just feel like it's nice to splurge here and there, like on yourself, like especially if it's just you, single. Go ahead and splurge on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Okay, so I got a steak. It was a small 6 ounce. It was a small steak. I didn't really want a really big steak because I'm not a fan of red meat anyway. Like, I don't eat a lot of red meat, so I just wanted a small steak, and then my two sides were broccoli, mashed potatoes. Kind of basic, I know, but whatever. Oh, tip if you're going here. I'm not sure how other high-end restaurants are like this, but I know this one. So when you order a side, you can order just one side for two people because they come out in like a big plate or like a big bowl or like a big skillet. So one side, like say if you order one side of broccoli, that's enough for you and one other person. Just FYI. We didn't know that when we went, so we had a lot of sides. But yeah, tip for if you go. Food was good. And she ordered spinach. She got mashed potatoes and spinach. The spinach was good. It had a lot of garlic. So if you don't like garlic, you're not gonna like the spinach, but it was so good. Broccoli was good. Mashed potatoes, they had topped it with the chives, I think it was. It was good. It was just 10 out of 10 recommend. But so, you know, okay, so you see on Instagram the girls, they order lemon drops. When you see on Instagram in the little mini vlogs, or if I'm watching a vlog on YouTube, the girls, they're out to eat, they're ordering lemon drops. So I'm like, let's try a lemon drop. Well, it was my friend's idea to try it. So I was like, okay, yeah, you're right. Let me try it. So me not knowing, so I'm a tequila girl. Me not knowing vodka is in this drink. I didn't even think to ask, well, what is a lemon drop made of? I don't know. But I'm drinking it, and it comes with sugar on the rim. So I'm drinking it. It's okay. It's good. It was really strong. So it kick you quick. So I'm drinking it or whatever. And then like halfway through the glass, like in a little martini glass, he comes over, the waiter, and fills it back up to the top. And I'm like, okay, starting over. Couldn't even get through it. But then I'm like, my stomach, it just wasn't sitting right with me. And then that's when I was thinking, what is lemon drops? What is the liquor in lemon drops? So then I looked it up, and it was vodka. And I immediately was just turned off because I'm like, I don't even like vodka anymore. I used to drink it a couple years ago, but not that much. I don't like vodka like that. So I just, cut the lemon drop off because I was like, then I was about to order something else, but I was like, I don't like to too many different liquors. I just can't. And I was mad because that lemon drop messed my stomach up because we couldn't even get dessert. It was a cake on the menu, the dessert menu. And it looked so good because the couple next to us ordered it. And it looked so good. But the piece of cake was so big. And my friend was like, I'm not going to eat all that by myself. And I felt bad because I'm like, dang, I wish. I love a dessert. Like, I love a dessert. So I would have ate it. But that liquor after I drink, I can't eat a lot of sweets and stuff like that. It's a no-go for me. So I'm mad I didn't get a chance to get the cake. But I'm going to go back and I'm going to get that cake. Okay. So the food was so good at Mastros. Highly recommend. I'm gonna try a different drink next time. I just don't think a lemon drop is for me. My friend too. My friend didn't really care for it. I went to go see the cherry blossoms in the district. It was so nice. It's cherry blossom season. It's like you walk down and it's just trees of cherry blossoms. You see everybody taking so many photos. It was a lot of people out there, and it was a Saturday, so I expected it to be a lot of people. And you see everybody taking photos, and they're sitting by the water, and it's just so pretty over there. That was my first time seeing cherry blossoms, I think. Well, that was my first time going to see the cherry blossoms, so that was a nice experience. Okay, so I did have a product I want to mention. So about last year sometime, I was watching the Glam Twins, and they had mentioned a lip balm, and the brand is called Lano Lips. And I was like, oh, I want to try it. So I looked it up, and then I didn't end up buying it. Do you guys ever do that? Like, you look up something and you don't end up buying it, and it's just like not days, but months go past, and you're like, oh yeah, I meant to buy that. That's pretty much what this was. So I went to Ulta last week to get a new face wash, and I'm walking past, and I see the brand, like the tag of the brand name, and I was like, oh shoot, this is the lip balm that I've been wanting to try that I just completely forgot about. So I buy it, and it's not cheap. It was about $13, and it's like your standard tube of lip balm. But I wanted to try it because I just like trying new products, especially lip balms. Like, that's my favorite. Because the Lano Lips, it really like keeps your lips like moisturized, and it's not super thick, but it's like thick, like it's on there. And it's one of those, like, when you go to sleep with it on, you're waking up with it on. Like, it's one of those. It's so good. So I really like that. So just wanted to recommend Lano Lips. I should have a link. I should link it. I'm going to link it in the show notes, just in case if you want to just go straight to it. If you listen to the podcast, open the show notes and the link will be there. Okay. So yeah, just wanted to mention that. Okay, last thing I'm going to talk about. Okay, I'm not going to harp too long on it, but the Will Smith slap. Okay. That's what people calling it. The Will Smith slap. So I feel like it was staged. I don't know. I still feel like it was fake. It could have been real, but I still feel like the reaction, it just wasn't. It wasn't real to me. So like, okay, Chris Rock said the joke. Will Smith laughed at the joke. Will Smith see that Jada was upset about the joke. Will Smith just completely does a 180 and gets upset and goes to slap him. I guess it could be a reaction, but I'm like, that's like, I don't know. It just didn't feel real. Like, it still felt fake. But then it's like, okay, Will does that. And, with celebrities, once you do stuff like that, a lot of stuff be on the line. I've seen stuff like, oh, his movie is getting put on hold because of this, just other things and opportunities. Because people will look at you once you do something crazy. People, especially if you're black, people will look at you and be like, we don't want to work this person, this, that, and third. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like he put a lot on the line. And then I just seen something where Jada was like, she wished Will didn't do it and all of this stuff. Basically, like, not appreciating that he had her back. And I'm like, okay, girl, like, you kind of get on my nerves a little bit. Because how you gonna publicly say that when he just did that for you? Granted, you didn't ask him to do that, but he still did it. So you don't go out in the public and say it. I mean, it was one of those like blogs, so it's still like a did she really say it? But she may have said it. And then that's irritating because your man's trying to stick up for you and you're not giving him the credit. So it's like, It's just embarrassing. The whole situation was embarrassing. I feel like it could have been handled different. Will didn't have to slap him. Because initially, okay, I'm like, energy, yes, period, smack him. He talking about her. She got alopecia, whatever. He's defending his wife. But of course, we're adults. And you can't just go around slapping people. I mean, you can, but eh. But he could have did something different. Like, afterward, he could have talked to him like, hey, ease up on the jokes when it comes to that, blah, blah, blah. Just have a conversation. So that's my thoughts on it. I just feel like it wasn't, I still don't feel like it was real. It may have been, but I just still don't feel like it was for some reason. So yeah, I'm not going to spend too much time on that topic, but I just had to sprinkle my 2 cents in there. Okay, so let's get into our polls and questions of the week. Okay, so the first poll I did was curly or straight hair. Everybody said curly hair. It was like 100%. Nobody said straight hair. And I agree, because even though straight hair is easier to manage, I work out a lot, and I find even when I wrap my hair with my scarf and maybe put something else over it, my roots still get poofy. And that just ruins the straight hairstyle for me. Like, I know some people, I've seen like videos where people will have their hair for a week and a month and all that stuff, but I work out, I sweat so much, and it just ruins the style. So I just don't even bother anymore. That's why, like, my goal is to only do straight hair for like once or twice a year, because it's just not worth it. Like, the heat damage for me, it's just not worth it. So that's why I'm like, it's curly hair for me. And then the next one I put is relaxed or natural hair. Again, 100% natural. Everybody said natural hair. And again, I agree, but relaxed hair, only reason for relaxed hair is just easier to manage. Because I know relaxed hair now gets a bad rep, but you can have relaxed, healthy hair. You can. I feel like it'd take maybe a little more work in being more careful, but I feel like you can have relaxed, healthy hair. But of course, I prefer natural because I am natural, curly, so I prefer natural hair. And my question I put, did you hop on the natural hair train? And I meant by that is, like, you know how it just became popular to rock your natural hair within the past, like, 10 years? Maybe 8. Well, it just became popular. Like, it wasn't popular when I was a little girl. It was, everybody had their hair straight, because all my life I've had relaxed hair. I got relaxers like twice, maybe 3 times a year. So I always had my straight hair, always straightened it, never really did anything to it. I always straightened my hair. So that's what I meant. Majority of people say yes to that, and I can say yes as well, because I did. I've been natural for 6 years now. Yeah, I've been natural for 6 years. And what prompted me to go natural is because I moved out and I didn't have anybody to do my relaxers anymore. And I gave myself one relaxer and it went okay, but I still didn't feel comfortable putting in my own relaxers. I just wasn't comfortable with that. So then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just go natural. So I transitioned for a year. And I just been natural ever since. I definitely hopped on the natural hair train. So since we're on it, let's get into the natural hair talk. When it comes to natural hair, it can be, first thing I can think of is exhausting. That's the first thing I can think of, because with natural hair, like, and if you're really trying to keep up with it, with your moisture and your growth and all that stuff, you have to be on it. You just have to be. And I know with relaxed hair, you can kind of just whatever your hair, but with natural hair, it's just like, especially if you have a tighter curl pattern, you really have to be on it, because you can get the knot, your hair can knot up, your curls come together, and it creates so many knots. So you can't go like days. You can, but if you go days without touching your hair or doing anything to it, it's like a whole just mess. So that's why I say it's exhausting, because it's like weekly washing, weekly deep conditions, and all of that. It can be a lot. One thing that motivates me to not go back to relaxed hair, for one, I'm so used to doing my own hair, I don't even want to go to the salon. I don't want anybody doing my hair really. I'll go to the salon now for like braids and sew-ins or something like that. But on a regular basis, I just got so used to doing my own hair. I won't even go to a salon, to be honest. And another thing that motivates me is when I do a cute style. Like a cute style really helps. So like recently, the past 3 months, I just been wearing my hair in wash and goes. And for the longest, I could not perfect a wash and go. Like I couldn't get it. And so the past couple months when I'm finally doing a good job, I'm like, okay, this is motivating. Like I'm doing a wash and go, and I'm not doing my hair in super tight styles or super tight buns. And I'm just like for work, I'll do like a loose ponytail, nothing too crazy. Make sure, my edges look good. Sometimes, but most of the time, make sure the edges is slayed. But yeah, not super tight styles. And my wash and goes have been doing so good. So at first, I couldn't perfect a wash and go past like 2 days. 2 days later, my hair will be dry and it just wouldn't look right. So now I'm just gonna share my process with my wash and go. So I'll wash it, wash, deep condition, and then I'll do the LCO method. So everybody knows the LCO method if you're familiar with all the natural hair lingo. I did the LCO method, and the products I've been using is the Melanin Hair Care by her name is her YouTube name is Natural85. Her name is Whitney. She's like an OG YouTuber, natural hair. She's been doing it forever. But she came out with her hair care line, and this is my first time trying it. It's been out for some years now, but this is my first time trying it. So L stands for leave-in, C stands for cream, O stands for oil. So I'll do her leave-in, and then I'll do the cream styler, and then I'll seal in it with the oil at the end. And that has been working out for me. Like it's just been working. I'll probably do another episode of just like my favorite natural hair products because I have a lot, because I've been trying out different products for like 5 years now. So, 5 or 6 years, however long I've been natural. I've been trying out so many products, and I do have some favorites. So that'll be another episode that I'll do. But anyway, so back to the wash and go. I'll do that, the LCO, and then I'll let it either air dry or I'll sit under the dryer. Now the key is, so when your hair dries, you get shrinkage. So I like to kind of stretch my hair with a blow dryer, not too much to that the curls are gone, but just a little bit, because it'll kind of keep from the curls tangling. If you have a not curlier, but like a tighter hair type, tighter curls, they won't be as like clumped together, because the more they're clumped, the more knots. So I feel as stretching my hair with the blow dryer has been key, and also doing the banding method for nighttime for when I go to bed. So if you look this up on YouTube, you know what I'm talking about. But a banding method, you'll just take a piece of your hair like a ponytail and you'll just band it down the hair. And that's what I've been doing. I'll do like 4 or 5 in my hair at night, and then that just keeps my curls intact. They're not messy in the morning, because a pineapple at night just doesn't work for me. Like the banding method works. So because the pineapple, it just clumps my curls together, and I just feel like it makes knots, and it's dry. It's just not good for my hair type for the pineapple. But the banding method definitely helps. So that's what I've been doing with my wash and go. Twist outs and braid outs and flexi rod sets, I don't know. I feel like another thing too with natural hair, it's about technique. And the twist outs and the braid outs and the flexi rod sets, I can't master it. I just can't. Like I've done maybe one or two good twist outs, but I don't know, like I just can't master all those protective styles. So that's why I'm so happy the wash and go finally worked out for me, because I'm like, those twist outs and stuff, I just can't. It doesn't work. Like just doing regular twists and my hair looks cute, but when I take them out, I don't know, I just feel like it'd be dry, and I don't know. Well, not dry, but I don't know, it just don't be looking right. It don't be looking like the girls on YouTube. It's like, I hate that, but I don't know. It's just, but like I said, it's technique. And a lot of people think, oh, it's the product, it's the product. Now, if your hair is dry, then yeah, it might be the product. But if your hair is moisturized and it's just not looking right, it's technique. It's technique because, some people got it, some people don't. And I'm a person that just don't. That's why I'm happy the Wash and Goes is working out, because I can't. Those protective styles, they're hard for me to perfect. Like, now the Wash and Goes is going to be a different story when it gets hotter. So I was in Texas and it wasn't as humid, but over on the East Coast, it's very humid over here. So I'm going to have to find, and my friend was just telling me this. Her name is Christina. She was just telling me about gels. And I'm like, I don't really like gels because of that. Like, I don't like my hair being hard, and I don't like the crunchiness and all that stuff. But for the humidity, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to use a gel because my hair is just gonna, it's just not gonna stay with just the oil in it. I'm gonna have to put a gel on top. It's gonna happen. So I'll come up with the update in summertime products for like summertime Wash and Goes, because it's just different. My method I'm doing now is working, but when it comes to summertime and that humidity, it's going to be a whole different story. Also, with natural hair, another thing that comes to mind is patience. You have to be patient. Like, I know a lot of people get impatient because they're not seeing their hair growing. They're not seeing this and they're not seeing that. You have to be patient, but also you have to kind of be consistent, and you got to stick with it, because you can't stick with it for a couple weeks or a month and expect to see results. You have to be consistent. Like, wear your hair. That's like the best advice I could give, because me just wearing my Wash and Goes these past couple months, I've seen a little bit of a difference and a little bit of growth. All it takes is just seeing a little bit, and then I feel like that will motivate a person. Is it definitely motivated me. And again, I know people say this, leave your hair alone. That's why I just said wear your hair and leave it. Like, just doing these simple methods, your hair is just going to grow, because just leaving your hair alone is just key. That's why you see people with their locks and all that stuff, get their hair grow so fast, because they're literally just leaving it alone. They're not touching it. People style their hair, their locks, don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, people style it, but most, when I see people that just don't do nothing to their hair, they just let it flow, that's why their hair grows so fast with locks, because they're just letting their hair just do their thing. I was just looking at my hair and I'm like, it took a while. Like, I remember, oh my God, and I got so discouraged back in 2019, or no, 2020. So it was like the last 6 months of 2019. I found my way back to the Dominican salon, and I was getting those blowouts like clockwork, not caring about all the effort I just put in for 4 years into my hair, like getting it natural, because it was just so poofy and curly and pretty. Man, my hair was fried after that. Like, and that was 6 months. 6 months of that. And then I didn't really notice until quarantine happened in 2020. So in 2020, quarantine happened. I'm like, okay, I want to, start wearing my natural hair. Blah, blah, blah. Back to my natural hair. I'm getting back on it. Not doing a blowouts no more, because I can't. I can't go in nobody's salon because it's quarantine. Man, when I say I looked in the mirror, and it was mostly like my front pieces and like my middle, it was fried. Like, it was damaged. Heat damage. Heat damage is the worst. So I pretty much had to kind of transition over again with those pieces, and I had to like blend it and all that kind of stuff. And it was so discouraging, because I'm like, I work so hard. Like, when I was deployed, like, I worked so hard to keep my hair healthy. I was deep conditioning every week. I just was doing everything I was supposed to do. But then I found my way back to the Dominicans, getting those blowouts all the time. Fried my hair. So I pretty much like had to transition all over again. And then it worked out, because in 2021, like summertime, summer of 2021, that's when my hair, like, it started, the curls came back, and it was just better. But yeah, that was so annoying. Like, I was so ready to just cut my hair off, and I was just so ready to just do something to it, because I was like, I work so hard, but then it's my own fault, because I went to get the blowouts every Ugh, I was so mad. So I couldn't blame nobody but myself for that. But yeah, so like something like that can be so discouraging because it's like you put in all this work, but then why would you just go back and damage it? Like, why? So, and that's why now I'm just kind of sticking to like, I'm probably do blowouts like once or twice a year. I'm not even going to straighten it. And like I said before, like it's pointless to straighten it for me because as soon as I go work out and I start sweating, it's a wrap. And I know people are like, oh, you got to wrap it. You got to do this. You got to do that. For some reason, it don't work for me. Maybe after 1 or 2 days of working out. But after that, because I try to work out like 3, 4, 5 days a week. And I'm like, after that, my hair, the straight hairstyle is just no longer. So that's why straight hair is just like straightening my own hair is just not even worth it. Get a sew-in with straight hair or something like that, but straightening my own hair is just pointless. That was a little conversation I wanted to have about natural hair. I'm definitely going to put together another episode about natural hair, but that one is going to be more for like products. So I'll definitely be like laying out some like wash and go combos, some products that I like that work well together, and just products that I've used over the years that I like. And I have a good amount. So I'll put that list together and I'll definitely make an episode about that. And always remember when it comes to natural hair, it's about the product, but it's mostly about the technique. I keep saying that, but it's definitely technique. Like you have to practice because it's going to take a minute for you to get to where you want to go with your natural hair. But stay patient with it too. Don't give up on the natural hair. Don't give up, y'all. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. Let me know. DM me on Instagram. My Instagram is always linked in the show notes. Thank you so much for listening and tune back in next week for another episode. Bye.